Markets plunged again, down more than 6% before the closing bell.
Authorities continue to urge evacuation as the storm grows stronger.
An emergency alert has just been issued for residents in the area.
Before you even touch your phone in the morning, the war for your consciousness has already begun. You wake up. You reach for the glowing screen on your nightstand. You think you are simply checking your phone or catching up on the world. You aren't. You are unbolting the gates of your central nervous system. You are letting the noise of billions of minds flood your sacred, silent inner space. Before your own soul has a chance to speak, the world speaks first. Before your own daily intention can arise, their programming arrives. The very first frequency you allow into your mind dictates the vibrational tone of your entire inner world. Ask yourself, who owns your first thoughts each morning? Why do you feel spiritually weak, fragmented, and exhausted before the day has even truly started? What if your morning distraction is not an accident, but an engineered mechanism to keep you asleep? The first hour of your day is not neutral territory. It is not empty time. It is the energetic architecture of your identity. What you consume before breakfast builds the timeline you will walk for the rest of the day. In this video, we are not just talking about habits. We are talking about reclaiming your frequency. Let's take back the first hour. The alarm sounds. The hand reaches out in the dark, not by conscious choice, but by deep conditioned reflex. A phantom limb seeking its master. You drag the screen down, and just like that, the portal is open. In these first few minutes, you are suspended between worlds. The body is still half open from sleep. The ego has not yet fully formed for the day. Your mind is profoundly soft, highly receptive, and completely undefended. The veil is thin. And what do we do with this sacred, porous state? We weaponize it against ourselves. We flood the system. Emails demanding immediate action. Headlines dripping with low-frequency fear. The curated artificial lives of strangers triggering silent, unconscious comparison. Before your feet have even touched the floor, before you have taken a single deep breath, you have downloaded a matrix of urgency, anxiety, and desire. You have swallowed the world's noise whole. You think you are waking up, but spiritually, you are being occupied. Most people do not begin their day with awareness. They begin their day with invasion. You have been taught that your nervous system is merely biological machinery, a physical network of wires transmitting pain and pleasure. That is an illusion. Your nervous system is a highly calibrated biospiritual antenna. It is a receiver and a transmitter of cosmic and earthly frequencies. It does not just process physical touch. It picks up emotional currents, digital frequencies, social panic, and symbolic energy. When you wake, you are crossing a threshold. You are returning from the vast, infinite ocean of the subconscious mind, stepping back into the finite vessel of the body. In this transition, you are in a deeply suggestible state. The ego's defenses are down. The gates to your subconscious are wide open. For thousands of years, mystics understood this first hour as sacred territory. But today, modern systems of commerce and attention have engineered ways to exploit that very opening. Whatever signal enters that open gate first becomes the energetic baseline for your entire day. If the first signal is fear, your antenna is tuned to fear. If the first signal is comparison, you will broadcast lack. The digital world does not just inform you. It fundamentally alters the vibrational architecture of your perception. Understand this. Your attention is not just mental focus. It is life force allocation. It is the currency of your soul. When you give your first waking moments to the algorithmic void, you are literally giving away the raw material of your creation. Where your attention goes in that first hour is exactly where your identity begins forming. We must pull back the veil and look at the cold, mechanical truth. The glowing alerts on your screen are not benign messages connecting you to the world. They are meticulously engineered interruption devices. Every feed, every infinite scroll is designed to exploit the deepest vulnerabilities of your human psychology. Novelty, emotional spikes, outrage, and social comparison. By exposing your undefended morning mind to this chaos, you are actively conditioning your brain to crave cheap stimulation before it can even remember how to sit in stillness. You become trapped in a manufactured dopamine loop. And in this loop, deep contemplation withers. Blind reactivity thrives. You are no longer acting, you are only reacting. Make no mistake, the algorithm is not your friend. It is a mirror, trained by thousands of engineers to weaponize your deepest impulses against you. It learns your lingering gaze, your hidden insecurities, your political outrage, and it feeds them back to you. It profits off your fragmentation. Because a mind that cannot focus is a mind that is easily influenced. A fractured attention span is highly profitable. When you give the machine your first waking hour, you are handing over the keys to your reality. Think about the terrifying gravity of this. If a machine can predict what will trigger you, then your consciousness is no longer leading your day. Your programming is. When you hear the phrase spiritual warfare, your mind likely jumps to the supernatural. You imagine cosmic battles between light and dark, ancient archetypes of good and evil, but that is a distraction in itself. True spiritual warfare in the modern age is quiet. It does not announce itself. It looks like overstimulation. It takes the form of chronic comparison, artificial urgency, relentless noise, and emotional contamination. In the sacred threshold of the morning, your mind is the most fertile soil you possess. And in that soil, every scroll is a frequency. Every flashing headline is an energetic imprint. Every manufactured emotional spike is a seed. When you surrender those first waking moments, you are allowing the world to plant its chaos in the deepest garden of your consciousness. This is the true danger of what we casually call distraction. It is not just a loss of time. It is a breaking of coherence. When your focus is fractured into 100 different digital directions, your internal coherence shatters. And when that coherence breaks, your intuition weakens. The external systems become louder than your own inner knowing. You stop being guided by ancient wisdom, and you start being steered by modern algorithms. We must stop treating our daily digital habits as harmless. Distraction is not an accident of the modern age. It is not random. It is frequency warfare against your awareness. You wake up in a state of pure potential. The mind is a blank canvas. Your energy is neutral, quiet, and unassigned. But within 60 seconds of unlocking that screen, the purity of your dawn is shattered. You are instantly loaded with the collective fear of thousands. You absorb the panic of the news cycle. You consume the manufactured desires of strangers. Other people's artificial urgency becomes your physical nervous system state. Other people's unhealed opinions become your internal weather. Other people's projected identities shape your emotional field. Before the sun has fully risen, before you have even sat down for breakfast, the tragedy is already complete. You are no longer centered in your own signal. You are vibrating to the chaotic rhythm of the world. You justify it to yourself. You think you are simply starting the day informed. You think you are catching up, but you are not informed. You are invaded. You are actually starting the day profoundly disconnected from your own soul. This is the ultimate theft of sovereignty. Most people never choose their state of being. They inherit it from the feed. Society will tell you that the morning is for productivity. They tell you to wake up and immediately start doing, achieving, and consuming. That is a trap of the physical plane. The first hour of your day is not productivity time. It is sovereignty time. The first hour must not belong to the glowing screen. It must not belong to the algorithm, the news feed, or the chaotic demands of the outside world. It must belong exclusively to your own awareness. When you choose silence before stimulation, you are performing a subtle act of inner alchemy. You are restoring the throne of your internal authorship. You are remembering who you are before the world tells you who you need to be. This is the law of resonance. If you consciously choose your state of being before the world is allowed to enter, you alter the entire energetic trajectory of your day. You do not just change your mood. You literally shift the timeline you are walking on. You become the cause rather than the effect. Let us discard the modern delusion. A morning ritual is not self-help fluff. It is not a trendy aesthetic for the internet. It is the drawing of a sacred circle. It is absolute energetic boundary setting. It is active spiritual defense. It is the fierce, unapologetic preservation of your own signal. To break the spell, you must establish a new law for your nervous system. This is not a list of habits. This is the protocol of sovereignty, a 5-step energetic defense to reclaim your signal before the world can download itself into you. Step 1. Do not touch the device for the first 30 to 60 minutes of your waking life. The transition from sleep to waking is a sacred threshold. Protect it fiercely. Do not break the seal. Before a single algorithm can speak, let your first conscious thoughts belong entirely to you. Step 2. Sit in silence before you allow input. No music, no morning news, no scrolling. You must allow your nervous system to surface naturally from the depths of sleep. You must let your own soul speak before the artificial system does. Step 3. Breathe and regulate. Draw the life force in slowly, deeply. Use the breath to manually stabilize your nervous system. You are physically shifting your body out of blind reactivity and into profound coherence. You are training your biology to recognize peace as its baseline, rather than urgency. Step 4. Choose your frequency intentionally. Because your nervous system is an antenna, you must tune it before you transmit. Anchor yourself in gratitude, a silent prayer, or deep visualization. Set a flawless, unbreakable intention for the day. Dictate the vibration you will carry. Step 5. Create before you consume. Write, reflect, move your physical vessel. Speak your affirmations into the empty room. You must generate your own energy before you absorb the energy of the collective. You must visualize and crystallize your identity before outside forces try to define it for you. This is your ultimate defense against the noise. Before the world tells you who to be, become someone on purpose. In practice, the alchemy of the morning is not found in complex rituals. It is found in a series of highly conscious micro-choices. It looks like this. Instead of waking to a barrage of texts, you wake to the steady, rhythmic anchor of your own breath. Instead of injecting the frantic panic of the news cycle into your veins, you choose the profound, healing medicine of stillness. Instead of scrolling into silent, soul-crushing comparison, you choose the fire of your own creation. Instead of immediately reacting to a world that is always on fire, you establish absolute inner command over your own internal weather. You stop blindly consuming manufactured chaos. You start generating your own bio-spiritual coherence. Hear this deeply. The goal of spiritual awakening is not to run away. You do not need to flee to a mountaintop. You do not need to shatter your screens. You do not need to escape the modern world. You just need to stop letting it enter you uninvited. I want you to ask yourself a question, and I want you to be brutally honest with the answer. Who truly owns the first hour of your day? Tomorrow morning, when the veil of sleep lifts. Who speaks first? Is it the quiet, eternal voice of your own soul? Or is it the loud, mechanical voice of the system? Look closely at the habits you perform before the sun is fully up. Are those actions actively building the fortress of your spiritual sovereignty? Or are they quietly, invisibly feeding your mental fragmentation? You cannot serve two masters at the threshold of dawn. Think about the lengths you go to in order to secure your physical reality. You lock your doors at night. You would never leave your physical home wide, open for strangers to wander through while you sleep. So why do you leave the gates of your mind wide open the second you wake? What would change about your reality if you protected your consciousness before breakfast with the exact same ferocity that you protect your home at night? Never forget that your consciousness is the most precious resource on this planet. The world does not compete so aggressively for your attention by accident. It competes because attention is raw, unshaped power. A distracted mind is easy to steer. A fragmented soul is incredibly easy to manipulate. But a coherent being, a mind anchored in its own silence, becomes entirely impossible to control. The war for your consciousness does not begin at noon. It begins the moment you wake. Protect the signal, and you protect the self. If you are claiming your sovereignty tomorrow morning, anchor your intention right now. Go to the comments and type, "I protect my signal." Let it be a digital written pact with yourself. Hit the like button to hack the algorithm and push this exact frequency to someone else who needs to wake up today. And if you are ready for deeper transmissions on consciousness, awakening, and spiritual sovereignty, subscribe if you haven't already, and remember, you're part of this collective unfolding. Until next time, Universal Consciousness signing out.